So more details came out about the Wanderlei Silva knockout, and it seems that the person that KO'd him was his opponent's son. Apparently, his opponent is a boxing legend in Brazil. So the brawl started after repeated headbutts and I believe a knee from Wanderlei, which shows this was Wanderlei's fault, bro. You can't just take a boxing fight and start fighting MMA in there, bro. You just can't bust the Dylan Dennis. But I'm gonna leave it at that. Hopefully he wasn't hurt too bad. But yeah, definitely his fault, bro. But on to bigger things. Big news. The UFC have gifted Qatar 2 big fights. We are finally seeing movement in the lightweight and welterweight divisions. Arman Tsarukyan is back. He's fighting Dan Hooker, which should probably be a W for Arman. I'm not convinced that Dan Hooker is a top 5 fighter at the moment. I still believe he lost that fight to Gamrot, and Arman won his fight against Gamrot. Plus, Arman is in his prime, bro. I believe this is going to be a decision win for Arman. Arman has the better wrestling, and his boxing is underrated. Hooker is already out of his prime. And don't get me wrong, dude's a dog. But I just don't see him getting past Arman. Hooker has struggled against high-level wrestlers in the past. Arman's best path to beat Hooker is to smother him with pressure. And he might even get an early knockout. But honestly, I don't know, man. Hooker's a fucking cockroach. I got Arman by decision. And in the co-main event, one of my ride or dies is fighting one of my biggest ops. We all remember the name Bilal Muhammad, who is fighting Ian Crybaby Gary. Bilal can actually win this, bro. And it could look very similar to the Leon Edwards fight if he threatens the takedowns from the beginning, unlike he did with JDM, because Ian Gary likes to fight at range. And Bilal can disrupt Ian's rhythm with his pressure. Plus, Ian Gary hasn't really fought a person that can chain wrestle like Bilal. I mean, he's no Islam or Habib, but it will be the highest level wrestler he has faced up to this point. And yes, I believe Bilal is a better wrestler than Shafkat. On the flip side, Ian Gary is good at making people fight his fight by keeping them at distance, which I believe he's better at than Leon. He could also catch Bilal with counters as he's moving forward. I'm sure him seeing the JDM fight will also give him confidence in defending the takedowns. But how long can he defend until he, or even if he gets tired? We will see. My mind says Ian Gary, but my heart says Bilal. And no, I haven't learned my lesson from the Reyes loss. I'm gonna go with my heart, man. I'm going with Bilal. Bilal by decision. I don't care. Ride or die, bro. But if Ian wins, get ready for the annoying tirade he's gonna go on in the post-fight interviews. We're gonna have to hear a month of, I'm next for that fucking title. Fuck that shit, man. I'm just glad both the lightweight and the welterweight division are finally moving, especially the lightweight. We need a clear contender, even though I already believe it's Arman, but whatever. We need a clear contender for Ilia Topuria. And if Arman wins and he doesn't get hurt, I mean, he could fight Ilia Topuria early next year. Let's see where that goes. Now, let's talk about UFC 320, headlined by Ankalaev and Pereira. I'm only doing the main card since that's all I have time for, and quite frankly, I'm too lazy to do the rest. First up, Abuz Magomedov versus Joe Pyfer. I believe Joe Pyfer can get this one done. Abuz tends to start fast, but slows down the longer the fight goes. And that's not to say Pyfer doesn't get tired, but Pyfer handles being tired better than Abuz does. Abuz just kind of throws in the towel, bro. This will give Pyfer the advantage to knock him out once he tires him out. They're both fast starters, but I believe Joe Pyfer can weather the storm, pressure him, and finish him. I got Joe Pyfer by TKO. Next up, Josh Emmett versus Yusuf Zalal. We cannot let Zalal win. It's these kind of fighters that make divisions boring, man. Emmett, you gotta pull this out the fire. But in all honesty, I do believe Zalal will win. He's gonna stick and move the entire fight, making Emmett miss. So I got Zalal by decision. Now, the fight of the night. Yuri the Samurai Prohaska versus Khalil, my feelings are hurt Roundtree. This fight's gonna be a fucking war, man. Mark my words. I'm giving Yuri the advantage in this fight. I believe his high pressure and unpredictability will force Khalil into a dogfight. And Yuri will eventually break Khalil's guard, bro. And after that, he's gonna start piecing him up. On the other hand, Khalil also presents big problems, man. If Khalil times his counters correctly as Yuri is coming in hot, he has the power to finish him. But if your name is not Alex Pereira, I don't see anyone knocking out Yuri. I did see he was gonna start having a high guard, but I think he'll revert back to his usual style and beat Khalil. I don't see this fight going to the decision, man. I got Yuri by late TKO. I'm excited. It is the kind of fight that feeds families, bro. Fight of the night. I'm calling it now. In the co-main event, we got Merab Dvalishvili versus Corey Sandhagen. Merab is winning this, bro. I'm sorry. I like Corey and all. I don't see him getting past Merab. Unless it's through some wild KO out of nowhere, like a flying knee or a spinning elbow or even an RKO. Merab is just gonna hit him with relentless pressure the whole whole fight. But that's not to say that Corey will be dominated. I believe he's going to do everything in his power to win. He'll definitely take more risks than O'Malley, but he will lose the fight. I just believe that the only one that can beat Merab is Umar. He's just got to fix that gas tank though. Once Merab wins this fight, I'm sure he's going to call out Piotr Jan since he's the clear #1 contender. Now for the main event. Big Ank versus Alex Pereira. Bro, this one hurts because Alex is a ride or die, bro. But I have to be realistic and say that he doesn't get past Big Ank. I know Alex has been saying he wasn't at his healthiest against Ankalaev the first time, but it's not like Ankalaev fluked him. He outclassed him. His threat of the takedown made Alex tentative even though he defended all of his attempts, and he outboxed. I do believe he's going to put on more of a fight, but I don't think it'll be enough for Ankalaev. And I hate to say that Ankalaev is kind of growing on me, dude. I wouldn't be mad if he won, but I will be sad seeing Alex lose. And with the recent thing I heard from Alex saying that he doesn't know how much longer he can make 205, that kind of tells me he could get chinned in this fight, man. I already saw him get knocked out once. I don't want to see it again. With that being said, I gotta be realistic and say that Ankalaev might win by knockout. I hate to say it because he's one of the ride or dies, bro, and I know I'm going with Bilal because he's a ride or die, but Bilal realistically has more of a chance winning that fight than Alex does this fight. I'm just being honest, but I would love to be wrong. Well, that's the end of the video. Thank you for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. Comment down below on who your predictions on the card are. Follow me on Instagram, X, and TikTok at the Beaver X, and I'll see you in the next one.